All right, remember how we said if this is a quadratic, what does it have to equal? It has to equal 0. But what this one asked you for was to do square root. So what that means is I need the r squared alone. I need the function that we're looking at all by itself. So what do we have to do? This is a plus 1. So if I move it over here, it's a minus 1, right? So I have 100 r squared equals 4. And then I have to divide both sides by 100 because what am I trying to do? I'm trying to get r squared alone. So now I have r squared equals, and I'm going to leave this 4 over 100 for a minute. Okay? So I got it all by itself. So I have r squared by itself. So the opposite of squared is square root. So I'm going to take square root and square root. So the square root of a square, that's just an r. Since we are taking a square root, that's a plus or minus. Now, what's the square root of 4? Because you can write this the same way. You can write square root of 4 over square root of 100. Well, we know what the square root of 4 is. That's a 2. And we know what the square root of 100 is. That's a 10. Oh. And square root of 2 over 10 simplifies to 1 over 5. Now there was another way you could have done this. So you had r squared equals 4 over 100. You could have simplified right there. 4 over 100 is the same thing as 1 over 25. Then when you get the square root of square is just a plain r. You're doing plus or minus. Okay, the square root of 1, that's the same thing we were just talking about. The square root of 1 and the square root of 25. The square root of 1 is 1. The square root of 25 is 5. So we get the same answer no matter which way we go. All right, 34. Same thing. If it asks you for use the square root method, then I need to get x squared by itself. Normally I would make this equal to 0 and try to solve it quadratically, but it wants the square root, so we're going to get the x squared by itself. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do, I have a plus 8, so that makes it a minus 8. So that equals 25, right? Okay. And then I have to divide both sides by 36. So now I have x squared equals 25 over 36. And you're going to leave it alone for a minute because there's something you should have noticed. 25 is a perfect square. 36 is a perfect square. We don't need decimals. We need to take the square root. So now I have x. I have plus or minus. Now, that's the same thing as saying square root of 25 over the square root of 36. Square root of 25 is 5. Square root of 36 is 6. So this is my answer. All right, now let's switch gears. This one is equal to 0, and it does say factor. So we are now not going to do the square root method. We are going to do a factoring method. All right. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 pieces, so we're going to draw an X. We're going to multiply and add. Remember that? All right, we're going to multiply 5 times negative 35. Do you see that? 5 times negative 35. And we're going to get negative 175. So we need something that multiplies to negative 175 and adds to 18. Now, if you remember correctly, I told you to go, the easiest way to do is go to y equals. In your calculator, put negative 175 divided by x and look at the table. And that will give you a lot of options on what you can do. The answers are, the two numbers are negative 7 and 25. So what this means is we take this 18 and we break it up into these two pieces. We have 5k squared. Instead of 18, what are we going to do? We're going to do negative 7k and positive 25k. Because if you add those together, they would be 18. Now, I'm going to do it like your teacher does it. For me, at this point, I would put it in a box, but I'm going to do her thing that she does. Okay. If I take out, well, I have to move everything around because there's nothing I can take out right there. There's nothing I can take out, is there? So I have to move everything around. 5k squared plus 25k minus 7k minus 35. All right, now there is something I can take out. So I'm going to take out 5k, and that's going to leave k plus 5. All right, now I'm going to go right here. I have to take out negative 7. Now be very careful about your negatives right here. If I take the negative 7 out of this one, it's just a k. And if I take a negative 7 out this one, it's just a plus 5. Now, did I get two things that match? I did. So now I have 5k minus 7, and I have k plus 5. These are factors, not answers. Factors, not answers. To find the answers. Well, I know this one is going to be negative 5. That's easy enough to see. The other one, I'm going to have to do a little work. I'm going to make it equal to 0. It's a negative 7, so now it's a positive 7. 5k equals 7. Divide both sides by 5. K is equal to 7 over 5. These are your answers. Let's remind ourselves. These are factors, not answers. These are answers. Okay? On 36, I'm going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3. That means I need to multiply and add. So I'm going to multiply 7 times 48. And I'm going to get 336. And I'm going to add to negative 50. It's going to be negative 8 and negative 42. Now, just to throw this out here, if this were a multiple choice question, could you just take the answers and multiply them using a box and get the right answer? Yes. But I'm going to go ahead and finish this out. 7b squared minus 8b minus 42b plus 48. All right. I took negative 50 and I broke it into two pieces. Now, when I first look at this and I look right here, there's nothing to take out, is there? I can't do that. So I'm going to switch them a little bit. 7b minus 42b minus 8b plus 48. All right, let's look at this first one. I'm going to take 7 out and b out, and I'm going to have b minus 6. Over here, I'm going to have a negative 8 out. which is b minus 6. Since I got the same thing twice, I can use it. So this is 7b minus 8 and b minus 6. Those are factors, not answers. Factors, not answers. I need to find the answers. This one's easy. This is going to be equals positive 6 because it's a negative 6. But this one I'm going to have to set up as an equation. Negative 8 becomes positive 8. 7b equals 8. Divide both sides by 7. b equals 8 over 7. Now again, if it's a multiple choice question, you could try out the answers and see which ones. If you had to do some more guesswork, let's put the 7b squared there. Let's put the 48 there. And this thing right here has to add to negative 50. And we could just play with the numbers. This could be 7 and 1. 48. What are things that automatically come to your head about 48? Well, that's a 6 and a 8. And you could try this out. 6 times 7, that's 42. 1 times 8 is 8. 42 plus 8 is 50. That's pretty good. If you make them all negative, it now works. So sometimes just playing with the numbers might be easier.